Well, Paul and Pat, the snow will continue to come down the rest of the night. So Louise are doing a great job out there because I know it is cold, it is windy, and we expect to see about 1 to 2 more inches of snow along the grapevine. As we take a look at the satellite radar right now, that's where we are seeing most of the activity. Ventura, LA County, right around the 5 right now. But this is from area of low pressure, which was pretty dry, but we're definitely dealing with unsettled conditions behind it. So again, in those mountain areas, the snow will continue to come down. Look at how colorful this map is. This is all the watches and warnings that are in place. I'm going to break them down real quickly. A high wind warning will last through tomorrow morning, where winds could gust up to 60 miles an hour. The rest of the Southland under a wind advisory through 4 a.m. That winter storm warning in effect above 4,500 feet. We could still get an additional 6 inches of snow, and then you've got the snow and the blowing snow making for dangerous conditions. We'll go over the rest of the advisories, and wind will finally warm things up coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you. That's right. And take a look at this. This is going on right now. Live video from the grapevine. It is a winter wonderland, is it not? Look at the snow and the blowing snow. Couple inches, couple more a possibility, making driving and visibility very poor because when you've got the snow and then you've got snow coming down and the blowing snow, very hard to see slick roadways. So a very dangerous situation there. And in fact, as we take a look at the Doppler radar right now, that's where we are seeing most of the activity is the snow coming down in the mountains of LA into Ventura counties. That's going to continue throughout the rest of the evening. By about 10 o'clock tonight, it will start to taper down. But from now till about 7 o'clock, that will be at its worst. This is all from a very cold area of low pressure. Not a lot of moisture. We didn't see much rain at all, but we are definitely seeing a lot of snow. That cold air mass is in place, and we are definitely dealing with those gusty winds. And unfortunately, this cold air mass, if you don't like it, it's going to be here for quite some time. To wait till you take a look at the 5-day forecast. But first, we've got to go over all of this. That's right. All the watches, warnings, and advisories. High wind warnings in effect for the mountains through 4 a.m. tomorrow. Gusts up to 60 miles an hour. We showed you that video. You could see those wind gusts. The rest of the Southland under a wind advisory. Winds gusting up to 45 miles an hour. Winter storm warning in effect. Snow above 4,500 feet. We could see up to around 6 more inches of snow. And then you've got the snow and the blowing snow. These are the advisories I want to get through. First off, winter weather advisory for the Apple Valley, Hesperia, and of course Victorville. Frost advisory in effect where areas in blue where temperatures overnight tonight will get anywhere between about 24 to 28 degrees. And then along the coast, another big problem, coastal flood advisories and high surf advisories, and that's going to stay with us through Saturday. Surf up to around 7 feet. So again, very dangerous along the coast as well, even after the storm moves through. Take a look at the lows tonight, and let me tell you, although these are cold temperatures, tomorrow night is going to be even colder because the winds actually keep those temperatures up at night. The winds are going to be dying down by tomorrow. It's going to be the coldest night of the season. Tonight we're into 8 degrees there in Big Bear, but teens and 20s out there. Right now it is very cold. We've got these strong gusty winds, and again, all from that area of low pressure moving on through. Today's high, 59 degrees. But again, this area of low pressure moving on through, bringing that very cold air in place, a little unsettled behind it, and that's why we're seeing the snowfall. But although we'll see sunny skies, look at the temperatures. Keep in mind, tomorrow night, temperatures most of the Southland will get down into the 20s and 30s. So again, talking about freezing temperatures out there. So just bundle up and just to get ready for a very cold weekend. Paul, Pat, back to you. All right. Paul and Pat, just cold just looking at those pictures. Let's take a look at our current temperatures. It's been cold all day. 37 in Lancaster, 46 Van Nuys, Ontario 51. We're looking at 54 downtown, but it's these overnight lows that will really get us. And take a look at the wind sustained at 17 miles an hour in Santa Monica, 17 in Oxnard, 20 in Long Beach, 21 Apple Valley, 15 now in Lancaster, and 12 in Riverside. But the snow has been the big story along with the cold, windy weather. And it is still coming down along the grapevine. A couple more inches of possibility. About 4,500 feet, we could see up to 6 more inches of snow. So the snow will continue, and it will be pretty heavy over the next few hours, and then it will start to taper off after 10 o'clock tonight. But look at all the watches and warnings we've got in effect for the mountains. Winter storm warnings, high wind warnings will continue through early tomorrow morning. The rest of the Southland under wind advisories. And then at the coast, we've got high surf advisories, coastal flood advisory. That will take us through Saturday. surf up to around 7 feet. But this area of low pressure passing on through, but that cold air mass is here to stay. I'll have more coming up at 6 at how long these cold temperatures will be sticking around. Back to you.
Tonight. Jackie?
Thank you very much, Rick. And if you think it's cold tonight, get ready for tomorrow night. It'll be the coldest night of the season. But it is cold and windy out there right now. I want to take a quick look. We've been talking about the grapevine all night long, and the snow finally starting to taper off quite a bit. But there is still some snow coming down, and we have the gusty wind, so snow and blowing snow still making for dangerous driving conditions. And then, as Louisa showed us, turning into ice. So very slick roadways out there. This is all from a cold area of low pressure, not a lot of moisture with it, but it has brought in that cold air mass, and it has also brought us numerous watches and warnings. Let's start with the high wind warning that will take us through tomorrow morning for the mountain areas. Gusts up to 60 miles an hour. The rest of the area under wind advisories. Gusts up to 45 a possibility, and then the winter storm warning in effect for the mountain areas. So I will have more on this and when we'll actually warm things up coming up in just a bit. Rick, back to you.
Thank you, Jackie. Stay with
This bitter cold weather. Jackie?
Ooh, thank you, Paul and Pat. That's right. Very cold out there tonight. We had 2 to 5 inches of snow reported right along the grapevine. The snow is still coming down, not as heavy as before, but again, we've got the snow and then the blowing snow still making for some poor visibility. And Wrightwood, Big Bear, skiers, boarders should be happy. The snow continues to come down. It is cold, so it will not be melting anytime soon. And of course, above 4,500 feet, we saw about 8 inches of snow. But for the most part, that will be the end of the moisture with this storm system. However, the cold is here to stay. Take a look at all the watches and warnings in effect. Winter storm warning stays in effect through 4 a.m. for the mountains of LA and Ventura counties. But look at this, the bigger story now, the cold air freeze watches, frost advisories. 24 to 28 degrees will be the overnight lows. If you think tonight's cold, tomorrow night even colder. I'll have more on that coming up. Paul, back to you. Check my Twitter right after the newscast, and I'll take whatever layers you don't want because it won't be enough for me. I'm such a wimp. It is so cold out there, folks. But good thing we had that heartwarming story before this to make it a little bit better. But we are looking at the Doppler radar right now. No rain, but still seeing snow coming down. You can see there along the 5, and then Wrightwood into Big Bear, and the wind is blowing. So we've got the snow and the blowing snow. That area of low pressure is pushing on out, but behind it, it has left a very cold air mass, a cold and windy one. So what is happening is once this cold air mass is in place, it is going to be here for quite some time. So we've got to get used to bundling up. This is the latest watches and warnings. I want to go through them all. We've got the winter storm warning that's in effect for the mountains of LA and Ventura counties, and that will continue through 4 a.m. But look at this, the freeze watch and also frost advisories in areas in blue. That will continue through 9 a.m. tomorrow, where temperatures will be down into the 20s. Wind advisories still in effect, winds gusting up to 45 miles an hour. Coastal flood advisories and high surf advisories at the coast will take us into Saturday, surf at least 7 feet. We're looking at our temperatures right now, 30s and 40s. The winds making it feel even cooler than it is. Take a look at some of these overnight lows. Big Bear, 8 degrees. Again, that snow is not melting anytime soon. Lancaster at 21. If you think tonight's cold, well, as I said, tomorrow will be the coldest of the season. You can see how strong these winds are still. Highs today only into the 50s. Temperatures will only be into the mid-50s by tomorrow, and again, getting even cooler as we head into the weekend. So overall, it was pretty dry. We didn't see a lot of rain with that, but definitely seeing the mountain snow. Days, folks. Only into the 50s. Tuesday, which we're not looking forward to. We're looking forward to the weekend, but Tuesday is when we'll finally warm things up under sunny skies. Temperatures will be into the 60s, so bundle up. Paul, Pat, back to you. Got a good way. Bring it over.
No kidding.
I don't know. As long as they played, it's getting hot in here. I would.